Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
Honestly, is nobody even listening to the audio track at this point? Like, how do you have so many overlaying
fucking shit? Like, what? Like, I physically cannot think. Like, it's so fucking bad.
Okay, so nothing happened in the race. We have no notes. Nothing happened all weekend. We're only talking about the F1 TV feed. Holy shit. No, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will indeed get to that. That is a whole rant in and of itself, as you can tell. But, yes. Welcome.
To Spa.
To Spa.
Actually, goodbye to Spa.
Oh, well, yeah.
And hello, summer break. A whole month without, or it's no Rossiek. That's why they disqualified him. Because of the race week thing he did. That was the real reason.
Yeah, that's valid. Okay, I'd go for it
Because
then.
it's graphic design.
Graphic design is his passion.
Alright, where do you want to start? Because I was very unplugged except for the race. Because of work. So.
Yeah, no, definitely much the same. But, hey, we got updates. RNCs, restricted number components. We've been over that. And it's the second time I'm not going to reiterate it. From now on, it will be RNCs, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking
The Republican
about.
National Convention.
You mean the world's largest grinder gathering?
Apparently.
Well, I'll make it like a yearly or bi-yearly thing to reiterate. But RNCs. Pierre, Joe, Charles, and Hulkenberg all took the cassette things and the components that go inside of it. Whole new gearboxes. All four of them. So, woo. And then power units. This one I broke up very weird, and I hate how I broke it up. But I did it now. It's in pen, so this is how I'm going to read it. So, Ocon, Albon, and Yuki all took new ICEs, turbochargers, MGU-Hs, and MGU-Ks. Max, George, Ocon, and Yuki and Joe all took a new exhaust system. Yuki took a new energy store and control electronics, and Max also took a new ICE. We'll get to the Yuki thing in a minute. Upgrades. Quite a few upgrades, actually. Most of it's minor, but meh. Toro Rosso had circuit-specific aero and chassis upgrades. Sauber had what I would call a moderate aero upgrade, plus reliability upgrades. So, yeah. It actually seemed like that was going to do something earlier in the week. And then we got to the race, and it did for a second, and then it didn't. Haas had a minor aero upgrade. Mercedes had a minor aero upgrade. Ferrari had a circuit-specific aero upgrade. McLaren also with a circuit-specific aero upgrade. Alpine with a minor and a circuit-specific aero upgrade. Aston Martin, Red Bull, Williams, all with none. There are a lot of people in that list that, not in that list, but in the previous list, that took a bunch of different engine components that they've already taken a lot of. As such, Max takes a 10-place grid penalty for his something numbered
ICE.
Engine. Yeah. I was like, I knew it was for engine, I just didn't know the number off the top of my head. And then Yuki goes to the back of the grid because he has like a 4 bajillion place grid penalty. And then between then and the race, the only other penalty that got added on was Joe for impeding during quali. Got dropped 3 places. Not that it really affected him that much. That's it. That is everything that I think the two of us have between the upgrades and the race start.
Yeah.
Both of us have been just insanely busy with work for the past few days, so it's been awful.
Yeah. My only thing, I guess, is, hey, Lance crashed.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course he did.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Yep. Then moving into the race,
yeah.
I think not a whole lot.
It's a very boring first chunk of the race.
Yeah.
This is the one bad thing about... I'm sure there's several bad things about Spa. The one bad thing, in my opinion, about Spa, it's such a long lap. Like, it is 1:45 to 2 minutes for one lap. Which is why they condense it down to 44 laps. Nothing happens. because the field is so spread out.
44, you say?
44, indeed. Oh, hey, did you know Sev went racing this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Bites. You know where he finished?
44th.
44th.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, no, field got so spread out. The only person that got lapped this weekend was Joe, and that was because of a DNF. So.
Yep. So I think all eyes. The big thing of the race was obviously, will Max do what Max did last year?
Yeah.
And
take the penalty.
Start from wherever and still win.
Still win by like 20 seconds.
And there was a pattern. This has happened the last 3 spas of Max pole, penalty, Ferrari on pole. So I guess this was kind of a records race. That was 3 times it's happened in a row. Twice in a row it's happened where it's been specifically Charles.
Yeah.
This is the 5th new record for most races in a row where pole has not gone on to win.
Interesting. Didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Well, it's tied between Brazil 09, and China 2010. So. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it for like pre-race and the first start of the race. Nothing really happened, really.
Yeah. I was like...
It was strategy.
Joe had that scare where it was like... He has 0 power, the hydraulic or something or other. And then suddenly it started working again. And it
Honestly,
seems
they
like...
still should have pulled him.
Yeah.
At
that point, yeah. No, they should have absolutely pulled him. But they were like, oh no, go ahead and continue. He was a minute down at that point. Which is still insane to say. That's only half a lap.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. He was already a minute down at that point. He was not doing anything better than being a lap down that race. And then lap 5 retired. Still the hydraulic issue. So, sorry, Joe. You have such insanely bad luck.
He rubbed off on Charles' back. Charles accidentally bumped into him and knocked off some of the curse on him.
I swear.
But
It knocked off just enough curse for him to win Monaco.
Yeah.
They had we're going to go a little further and not too much further in. Maybe like 3 more laps down the line. It was 3 more laps because it was on lap 8. Williams had a double stack. Genius move on a not caution or not a safety car. Caution. I don't watch NASCAR. The fuck? Anyways, they did a double stack. We didn't get to see the times because they were slacking on that. But Ted seemed to think they did all right. But thanks to the magic of DHL and their fastest pit stop award website, they keep track of all that. So I can tell you that Alex had a 3.17 second and Logan had a 3.4 second pit stop. So, yikes. I was like, they're not the greatest times. They're not the worst, but they're definitely not... Oh, yeah, they did pretty good.
It's not a Mercedes double stack.
Yeah, definitely not. I was like, I think the 3.4 when Alex did a 3.17 is pretty good, but the 3.17 is not great.
So much for that. No. Very much a strategy race, which seemed to, as we get into the meat of obviously what everybody's listening, especially with the title of our podcast. Strategy is what won George the race, or it's what would have won him the race. Which, I mean, that was kind of the thing, is we're like, oh my god, is he actually going to do it? And I thought it was going to pay off for Lando.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to try the one-stop. It's not going to work. Lando's going to get past. It'll be a Lewis-Lando thing going on, but no.
No, actually, he did it.
Yep, a Mercedes. Mercedes 1-2. Oscar up there again.
Oscar not murdering his Jackman,
yep.
but also not...
I forgot, yes.
Yeah.
He did almost pull Lance and send his front Jackman to... just go ahead and get him ready. He's in the Netherlands already.
Yeah.
He can just chill in Zandvoort for a month and recover. Which there was a little cool down room moment of that. Was it Mercedes? Yeah, it was Mercedes 1-2, yeah?
Yeah, it was Mercedes 1-2 and Piastri P3.
It was a quick second, like, was it a sandwich? But no, because he's not winning. But yep.
George Russell, he wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Wait.
What?
That's Joe Bauer with a steel chair. Yeah, no.
Funny enough, if that steel chair was on the car, he'd still be in P1.
So we ran the analytics, we ran the weigh scales, we did all the inspecting of the cars. George Russell's car is underweight. We have a disqualification.
Thank you, Wes McCauley.
Yay.
The first race DSQ, our namesake of the year.
Yippee.
Which I'm sure, I guess if the algorithm does anything, there should be more people listening to this because of the title.
Fingers crossed, but hey, if you're new here, hi. We're dumb Americans.
Mm-hmm. Most episodes are better than this. We were just literally busy, and it was really hard to catch up on stuff.
Yeah.
There's only so much highlights and rewatching can really cover.
Yeah, no kidding. George Russell's car underweight by 1.5 kilograms, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot for an F1 car.
For us in the American land, it's about 3.3 pounds.
About 3.3 pounds is about the weight of a toaster, or for all my gamers out there, about the weight of a Black Widow keyboard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Well, I looked up my keyboard first, the Ornata, and it was not close. And I was like, well, a Black Widow is definitely heavier than the Ornata, so I looked it up, and it's about 3 pounds. So
it's about the weight of a 3-pound weight.
It's about the weight of 3 1-pound dumbbells.
It is about 2 pounds less than a 5-pound dumbbell.
All right, we ran that joke. So. That's not George anymore. Lewis Hamilton wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Yay.
Oscar promoted up to P2, and that means Charles returns to the podium at least. So that'll be some... Oscar's going to have to ship that over to Mark Marinero, and I guess he doesn't have to... The first place trophy doesn't go too far. Just hand it to him.
No.
We saw the jet they flew into. They got plenty of room. He just handed it over.
Oh, absolutely. Tosses it like a multi-21 hat. No, that's 2 different events, but still. Anyways.
Different events, same thing.
Same thing. That's it. We are 12 minutes into this, and that's the race. Although,
that's the race. I mean...
Post-race interview.
Well, we'll get to that first. Let's get to that. Man, F1, we talked so good, and again this week, good picture-in-picture stuff, good direction.
Fantastic camera direction.
Overtake P&P, just fantastic. And then we got to the post-race interviews with, once again, our favorite Folk Smash himself,
Gunther Steiner.
Couldn't fucking hear him or who he's talking to because whoever was running the soundboard clearly wasn't listening to the mix or paying attention to levels or doing anything competently. Because they just had, I think they had the camera mic on, which they should just never have on, period. They had the ambient track mics on. And then they did have the interview mics on, like the actual handhelds they were using. They were just turned down. Like, it was just a cacophony of unintelligible bullshit, which I think is Gunther Steiner's second biography.
Can you tell which one of us is the actual, audio engineer person here?
Yeah, they're not doing what I'm doing right now and looking at the waveform and be like, hey, this looks fine and good, as I see. Hopefully it's not. Oh, no, it's a little peaky there. But I was also being loud, so...
Well, yeah, that right there is you complaining. That's me trying to impersonate Wes McCauley.
Yeah. And like I said, during the summer break, we are working on upgrades, so we'll have better audio probably after the summer break or during the summer break. But yeah, no, that was just unexcusable. I think F1 TV Pro is the best, of the... We're going to classify... Hello. Yes, that guy. F1 as a major sport here in North America, just so I can compare it to NBA, NFL, NHL. It's the best. You get access to... This is not sponsorship. Could be.
Bring it on.
Every race.
Every single race.
Every race from the start of F Formula 1 that is recorded.
Yeah, everything that they have archive footage of, you got it.
You get the multi-viewer API, which is just a game-changing, awesome thing. Please sponsor us, actually. Multi-viewer, we love you.
I would absolutely take a multi-viewer sponsorship. I would sing your praises every single week.
Do it anyway. Why would they do it for free anyway? And it's all... I mean, the price went up. I can't remember how much it is now. But it's still, it's expensive, but...
It's worth it.
It's worth it. It's not... Yeah.
It's not you're paying, $120... a year for hockey games that you don't even get access to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, well, I was thinking of, hey, you want to watch NFL this season? You want to watch every single NFL game this season? $606 here in the States. Because you gotta have YouTube TV, you gotta have Prime, you gotta have that one song that I'm almost basically singing. You gotta have Peacock, you gotta have Max. Like, F1 TV is the perfect thing. If only they get that little production done. Like, that's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. That was a tangent. Of course, we need content to fill. It's not even amateurish. Like, it's worse than that.
Yeah.
Amateurs, at least, like, they want to get in there and do the best they can, figure so you make the thing. That was just
amateurs scramble to fix things. They didn't try to even fix things.
Yeah.
They, I'm sure at some point realized something was wrong and just didn't do shit about it. They just left it how it was. I could not think during that interview. I sat for most of it.
I have no idea what any of them said.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I'm sure the people at the track got to hear it, but don't ask me.
Yeah, inexcusable. And it deserves a big rant because it is. I can't stress how, again, incompetent that is. Like, it ruined how much good you guys. The steps that has been made from the direction. Doesn't matter if you can't fucking hear. Been great to know what they said. I don't know. Although maybe what George said afterward would have been better. Do we want to do stars and then talk about Checo, or do we want to do Checo and then talk about stars and driver of the day?
I don't know. Up to you. Good job.
Right on her foot. Let's say Checo for last.
Alright, we'll say Checo for last.
We're
Just
talking
like
about
Red
everybody.
Bull.
Well, we just went through the race itself, so...
Yeah,
we
can get all the race stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
There'll be a quick little blurb before we get into Checo, but after we do all of our stars and stuff.
Yeah. So first of all, our race winner is now our driver of the day winner. Lewis with 26%, not 44%. That would have been too good.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Speaking of, were you getting that off of her page on the screen that she had, or you got it from the actual broadcast? Okay, so fun fact, it's actually whenever you go to the main Formula One website, whenever it says the driver of the day or whatever, like that's the person who did it, like it's a little news article.
Mm-hmm.
You click on it, it has the top people there with their percentages. So future reference, just in case you miss it.
Now, broadcast said 26% for Lewis. I voted for Oscar.
I also voted for Oscar.
I think the other one contention was Max Verstappen because he still did cut through.
Absolutely.
He did a Max thing in a car that's definitely not as good as it was when he could do it last year. Yeah. Deserving of Lewis. Get in there.
Get in there, Lewis.
So for a good P2, oh wait, no, now P1. So.
Actual stars?
Actual stars.
Alright, honorable mentions first.
I have honorable mentions.
I have honorable mentions. George Russell. Whereas I can't give him a full star because of the whole DSQ thing. He still had a phenomenal second stint after making the ballsy strategy call to do a one-stop at Spa, of all places. Nursed his tires, which, some can agree the less weight on them helped, but it's marginal at best. You account
My favorite Mayday Parade song.
If you account for the missing weight, with the general rule of thumb of 10 kilograms equals about 0.3 seconds per lap, even with a liberal estimate, he still finishes on the podium. He's still P3. However, since they did do a naughty and technically a cheat and get disqualified, his punishment is his name gets talked about alongside Lance Stroll. Don't remember hearing much about Stroll this race? Because I'm pretty sure after Crofty mentioned him in the grid rundown, that was the last they ever said of his name. Mm-hmm. But he made up 4 spots in this race, so, and almost found himself in the points. If 9 seconds is almost, but I mean, he was right there on the cusp. He was 11th place after everything was said and done. So. That's my honorable mentions.
I felt like there's quite a bit of quiet racers. Like, you didn't really hear from about a whole lot. I think we heard Hulkenberg once, and Hulkenberg ended, the end.
Yeah.
So for him to get a pass at any point is pretty good. But all right, so it's third star of the Spa Grand Prix is it's Oscar, because it was just a good race for Oscar. P2, P3, P2. I mean, I don't. He felt like. I mean, he didn't do. The McLaren didn't screw anybody over this race, I don't think.
I don't think so. No,
So it
seems
was just
pretty good.
driving on merit. Kept it in there with the two. I mean, I think going up against Lewis Hamilton and hanging with Lewis Hamilton is an accomplishment. Anytime you can do it. So
Pretty baller in my book. Yeah, my third star is also Oscar. Funny Man race good. It was a great race from him.
Cool.
To cross the line P3, later to be bumped up to P2 and eke out a few more points from Ferrari and gain a few more on Red Bull. Not much more to say. Fantastic job.
and not killing his Jackman, almost killing his Jackman.
Almost killing his Jackman.
It's a big difference from then. It was still better than Lance.
Oh yeah, no, Lance's Jackman got sent into the next decade. Like, he should be showing up any minute now.
Yep. My second star is Max Verstappen, because once again, Blake cannot control herself up here. Apparently.
Nope, go ahead.
I'm just saying weird things because I don't know what
Nope,
to do.
nope,
at this point.
go ahead. I'll get back with you on that. Keep going.
Once again, he did the thing of, this was last year, Max. He qualified half a second, about a little over half a second. Not as good as
this one was half, a little over half.
a little 5.95, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the grid penalty, and of course, Max made up from a P14 to 1 last year. So this is just a slightly severely toned down Red Bull in comparison. So a slightly toned down run. So deep finish P4 now.
I believe so.
So that was P5. So
Yes, he
It's almost
finishes
a podium.
P4. Almost.
so, dang it, the Planet F1 thing was almost right. I'll mention. I won't talk about them because I don't want to give them the press for it. But yeah, Max, doing some Max things.
Super Max. My number 2 star was also Max Verstappen. He steadily plunked his way up the field after starting further back due to the penalty. Gained 7 spots to finish P4. No shouty shouts at GP. Smooth, clean driving, and being Max Verstappen, having the Max Verstappen of F1, they helped him out today for a great recovery drive. Yippee.
And then 1 star, which I did not change because despite the fact that, yes, it probably might have made enough of a difference, it was still a good race. It still required some management, some patience. So I decided to still keep it at George for the number 1 star.
Fair and valid.
It wasn't necessarily, it wasn't George's fault that the car was underweight.
Yeah. No, it was like,
It was Lewis's.
it was Lewis's. That's the conspiracy. Everything 44 lined up this week. So yeah. Lewis Hamilton. Speaking of Lewis Hamilton, that is my number 1 star. Steady, solid race. Kept it clean. Kept it close to George at the end. Made a small attempt or two at passing him. Overall snagged the win due to George's DSQ. He's deserving of the win, both in the race and driver of the day. Yeah, I was like, I did end up changing mine because it was originally George, but I can't, in good conscience, myself, give him top star for being disqualified. I was like, it's perfectly fine that you do. It's your star. Give it out how you see fit. To me, I can't do it. So, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the garage like, I'm going to take off this little piece of carbon and save 3 pounds. That'll give me the advantage. I think it was just I would like to know where it happened. Like, was it fuel? Because they were talking about the fuel draining. Was it a piece of something that was off? Like, I want to know where the weight was.
It had to be a lot. Because I was like, there are people that get disqualified for like 0.1 kilograms. This is a kilogram and a half.
Yeah.
It's something big.
Yeah, I was like, Did they not put the drink in there? Like, did they?
I saw someone say it's like they're gonna find out that a piece of the ballast that was supposed to go in the car is still sitting in its box.
Yeah, I was thinking, was it just the added way for compliance too? They just didn't put, like a Pinewood Derby car. It was like they did not put the little screw on the bottom all the way and just fell off. Yeah. But yeah, that's our first race DSQ of the week of the season. We did have the
And the first one of the week.
Yeah, and the first one so far. The entire half the grid gets disqualified. Logan gets points. Valtteri gets points.
Let's go.
We were hoping. We felt like this would have been the best chance for Stake to get a point.
Yeah, I was like, even with Joe going out on lap 5, I was like, Valtteri's doing pretty well early on.
And they had to pit.
And then the strategy.
I mean, in hindsight, given how everything was, it would have been like, let's leave him out. Let's see how he does.
Right?
Can't be any worse.
Yeah.
At this point. So.
It's like, hell, his replacement stayed out and technically won the damn race, so. Just, didn't.
Won it. He got to celebrate. He got to do the champagne part.
He got to do the champagne part.
That's the only part that matters.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Checo.
Let's talk about Checo.
We debated doing this here or over the break, but I guess we'll see what what happens during the break, and this happens during this race. He had a good quality. P3 inherited P2. Front row start. But now he finished P8 inheriting 7.
P8. Yes, P8 inheriting 7th. So finish P7 now.
Did get fastest lap. Did get the record for fastest lap on this current config. So I guess there's something to be said for that. But is it enough?
I don't think so. I think the dropping 5 places, 6 places. I know how to math. I think that's enough to say, yeah, no, we need to explore other options. It's like, is it points? Sure. But it's not a lot. And you finishing that far down and both McLarens finishing above you, that's gonna eke away at y'all's lead as a constructor. And I don't see that being sustainable.
Oh, there's still 12 races.
So many races.
Yes. So many races. Sorry, not 12. 10.
There's still so many races.
Yeah, I still think there is a lot being played into it. I still think there's a lot of media playing into this. Red Bull is its own monster, and I'm going to bring hockey into this.
That's a different energy drink.
That's Lewis. Oh wait, no, it's Lando's sponsor now. I'm going to bring hockey. I'm going to bring Toronto into this.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think Red Bull might be Toronto.
Oh no.
Except Red Bull's won a championship in this century. I think they are this higher than so expected team, and then are known, maybe not Toronto so much for their ruthlessness, but Red Bull's very, hey, get the fuck out, you're not performing. And they just have a lot of
18-year-old your seat.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend.
And your child. But which driving? That was happening to like 3 drivers.
Yeah.
But that was, I guess, the big one. Just like there is a lot of attention on Red Bull. I feel like that's bleeding just so much.
The best.
And that's what I'll say an excuse for Toronto is the Canadian media. It's like, yeah, Steve Dingle's the reason you haven't won a cup in a century. Too much meat, totally. too much yelly, screamy man in Jersey. We hadn't mentioned Steve on the podcast a couple weeks, so I had to get him in there. Yeah. So
I wish my voice could get up that high. Jesus.
So,
voice training with Steve.
Yeah, I think there's maybe just too much being poured into it. I mean, Helmut Marko made a comment today of like, when he's doing 4.8s, it's not great, but when everyone else was not doing 4.8s.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We talked about replacements. I don't know if he has a solid replacement. I feel like if they had a for sure solid replacement ready to go for mid-season.
I mean, who finished 3 places behind him? Daniel Ricciardo.
We did bring this up, and so we had a graph. I don't know if I actually saw you this. You may not have been here. A graph of the wins on the grid currently. Ricciardo does have one more win than Checo does. So technically, yes, Ricciardo is a better driver in that aspect. I don't think he really is, though.
No. On paper, he is. On the track, probably not.
No, I don't think Daniel is the answer there. I don't think... Liam's untested. He did good last year, but that was an AlphaTauri. That was last year. That was a temp seat for 4 races, 5 races?
Something like that.
I love Yuki.
He's going through a rough patch.
But I don't think he's the answer for replacement this season. I think next year is a different conversation of a mid-season replacement here.
Yeah.
I don't think Red Bull has a driver that they would be confident enough at the current moment to swap that out. Like off season, fucking give Sainz an extra $2 trillion away from going to, I guess Williams now is the front runner again.
Yeah. So you could change up their contract, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah. I just don't. I don't think. I think if you're expecting a big crazy thing with Checo, I think you'll be waiting till the summer. I think he stays.
Fair enough.
Which, to bring it back to Toronto, same reason we sold Mitch Marner. Like, everybody wants this big change, and everybody says, "Oh, we'll do it," but doesn't happen. And you're gonna have the same team going forward. So unless you're willing to do, yeah. See, it's all tied together. Checo is Mitch Marner.
Checo is Mitch Marner. God, remember when our big joke this podcast was gonna be the return of Bonotto and just the little fucking Pronto Spinala?
I always still put that in the intro. Of course, more editing.
Nah.
I was saying, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened after last week. We never got, after we recorded, that came out of oh, Daniel was mad. Oh, Alonso was mad. Oh, Lance was a little shit as well. That's more than normal. And then Bonotto, it's do we have to do a supplemental episode? I don't want to talk about it now, though. I mean, Bonotto, it's not like he's going to be on the pit. Well, probably on the pit wall, I guess. But he's more, not the hands-on he was with Ferrari. So.
But he's back.
He's back. Formula Dink is colorful again.
Yeah.
Trying to think, is there anything else from this weekend? I know we were out of it, but I feel like even if we weren't in it, there wasn't nothing else.
It was, for the most
DSQ
part, a
was the
boring
big
race.
thing.
Yeah, DSQ was the biggest thing. I was just browsing along something else, and I happened to see the notification on my phone from FIA F1 Documents bot on Twitter. Also on Mastodon if you don't want to give Elon Musk your data. I have considered creating a Mastodon account and shutting down my Twitter, so...
My Twitter is mainly just for bitching about F1 and hockey. Literally, it's the pin tweet of this account is just for bitching at this point.
I was like, I don't use it really anymore other than to check the FIA Documents bot, and it's just gotten progressively worse, the shit that Elon's doing. So, no, again, not to turn this political, but yeah, no, I'm over it. I'm just going to get rid of my account, I think, at this point. On the different places.
And other things. Like Hive. Ew. That was a fun week.
Yeah, that was a fun 1 week that it lasted. They tried to pop back in. I don't think anyone went back to it.
Nope.
That sucks. It had promise. Fortunately, did not live up to those.
Well, as we move on to the summer break, we will probably have the keys of... It is, exactly a month, right? Basically,
I think it's essentially exactly a month.
So we'll probably have at least one episode. I say we'll probably definitely be taking a break because I've been a little burnt. Last week I was very burnt out on F1. It was after the race was over, I'm taking a nap and I don't care. I don't want it until we record. I'm not even looking at it. Today too, I was alright, race is over, cool. Nap, wake up. F1 dock spot. Oh,
interesting.
Oscar. Lewis. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
For the episodes, I guess, coming up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We still have to do a rundown.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't forget this time, I promise.
Yeah, no. It was definitely an episode, maybe 2, if y'all are all good.
Yep.
We might stop by Dairy Queen, give y'all an extra episode.
We will turn you upside down. Yeah, all right.
We're doing an Australia episode?
Our first live show.
Do they?
We're doing a
Dairy
live
Queens in Australia. Do they turn them right side up?
Yeah. Oh, that's a Vine if I've ever fucking heard one. Damn. Rest in peace. All right. I was saying, no, we're gonna do our first live show. We're gonna be doing it from inside the Terminal 2 bathroom at the Sydney International. We can't afford to actually leave, so we'll just fly in, record, and fly back.
Yeah.
We're gonna make 16 connections. Yeah. That's our mini tour. Just various European and bathrooms on layovers. Sucks. You gotta buy 2 tickets. You gotta buy a ticket to our show and a plane ticket to get past security. All right, it's 30 minutes. We filled enough time. What's the rundown?
Well, the rundown. Let's go. All right, for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps, collectively known as Spa. The race rundown. So, Lewis. Well, all of these are posts. DSQ.
Yeah, these are final classification.
Are final. Yeah, this is the final classification. So, Lewis takes P1, gained 2 positions from the start of the race. Oscar gains 3 and finishes P2. Charles lost 2 from pole to finish P3. Max gained 7 positions from his 11th place start to finish P4.
That's supposed to be in the background, and she stopped reading.
Oh, you know. The brain only works one way at a time, alright? I can listen, and then I can talk. No, it's fine. Lando lost a position to finish P5. Carlos gained a position to finish P6. Sergio Perez finished P7, losing 5 places, but gaining the fastest lap, so that extra point goes to him. Fernando Alonso stayed the same, finished P8. Esteban Ocon also stayed the same, finished P9. Daniel Ricciardo rounds out the top 10 with an extra 3 places from his starting position. The outside the points positions, Lance Stroll gained 4 places to finish P11. Alex Albon lost 2 spots to finish P12. Pierre Gasly finished P13, losing 1 spot. Kevin Magnussen gained 3 spots to finish P14. Valtteri Bottas lost a spot to finish P15. Yuki Tsunoda also gained 4 spots this race from his back-of-the-pack start, finished P16. Logan Sargent gained a spot to finish P17. Logan didn't finish last.
Woo!
I know you alluded to that earlier, but Logan didn't finish last. Instead, it was Nico Hülkenberg who lost 2 positions to finish P18. Zhou Guanyu did not finish, but technically counts as 19th, so he didn't change. Of course, retiring due to the hydraulic failure. And George Russell disqualified. Technically losing 14 positions, but does not count on the race roll due to being underweight. That's it. That's the race.
I was just checking to see if anything else came up.
Oh, no.
So there was, I guess, Damon Hill has tweeted this. He did 1 stop, so tires did wear down a lot. And 2, he didn't do a cool down where he picked up any marbles or anything either.
Yeah,
so
but
there's some weight. That being said,
also...
3.3 pounds is a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight. Also, they can always wipe the marbles off and reweigh the car. That's what they're allowed to do. So, I had already seen that debunked on Reddit, so it is not that. But the tires being shaved down more than normal, maybe. Maybe.
And also, here you go. Here's the last thought for y'all to think of during the break. This comes from Reddit user D4Y Break. Or Daybreak.
Okay.
Probably what it is. If George had peed in his car, would he still been disqualified? There you go. We want an answer when we come back for our next episode. Thanks, Reddit. Jesus Christ.
Y'all are great. We love you.
Alright, we'll see you probably for at least 1 summer episode, and then for our next race, which is Zandvoort.
It is. It is Zandvoort.
I wasn't installing. I was just like, I don't know what I'm saying. I was trying to think of something with Max's home race. Is he going to fuck up his home race with how everything's going this year?
It would be hilarious because that's the whole reason that he's taking the engine penalty now, so he doesn't have to at his home race and have to fight back then. Just to find out that his fucking gearbox explodes.
All right. We will have a nice break, everyone. Have a good summer. Hags. It's a yearbook. Is that your favorite one?
What was it?
Your favorite yearbook sign off? Ever had that?
I've never had that.
I'm the clown who came to town to sign your yearbook upside down. It's upside down. That one?
You gotta realize, I went to school with a bunch of hillbilly bumpkins. We didn't know any of that shit.
Interesting.
All we ever did was just actually sign the yearbook. There was no extra. Like, some people would tuck something else in there, but most people, it was just signature.
Interesting.
Perks coming from a small town.
There you go. Hey, what did you get in your yearbook? There's your call to action comment that YouTube wants us to do. All right. That's enough of that.
Bye.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod. And follow the crew at Medic50 and at GoaluCody30.